Check it out, basketball fans. With 19 sport clips across the state, there's one right near you. Look sharp, Louisiana, and get the MVP experience. Precision cut, shampoo, even throw on that hot steam towel. Step in today, leaving feeling like a champ. Sport Clips Haircuts. It's a game changer.
Elevate Next is where New Orleans athletes level up. We offer skills training, leagues, and camps designed to build confidence, sharpen fundamentals, and help your child stand out on the court. Our professional coaches focus on real development, discipline, technique, and the mindset to thrive. If your athlete is ready for the next level, this is the place.
Visit elevatenext.com or call 504-229-2591.
Cajun Graphics. Turn your idea into Cajun Graphics. Turn your ideas into eye-catching designs with Cajun Graphics. From custom t-shirts, team gear to business signs and vehicle wraps. We do it all Louisiana style. Fast, clean, and built to last. Cajun Graphics, where local pride meets bold design. We talk about it all the time, guys. If you've ever been to one of our events, you've seen the signage. Any of the signage that you see at our events is from Cajun Graphics. So if you're looking for something like that, some vehicle wraps, t-shirt designs, whatever you name it, they're going to claim it, man. Reach out to Jason over at Cajun Graphics, 225-333-8830.
New Orleans parents, Coach Sky's back in the gym. We're having a welcome back Coach Sky special. That's 4 group classes for only $50. Those classes will focus on skill development, focus on discipline, and also enhancing confidence. But this special won't last long, 10 days. 10 days is all you got. 4 classes for $50. If you're interested, please call us, text us, email us, or go to our website. We look forward to seeing you in the gym real soon.
Excuse me. I love sports. But sometimes, like when a t-shirt cannon hits me square in the nachos, I wonder, is Sport Clips better than sports?
Because sports plus a hot steam towel
beats sports plus hot exploding cheese.
I like your shirt.
Thanks. It was free.
Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Grind Elite Threads. Greatness is earned, never given. Outfit your team today with football, basketball, baseball, softball uniforms. Plus, school basketball apparel such as hoodie, practice jerseys, custom bags. Join the community where passion meets performance. Visit grindfp.com or call Justin at 337-660-9300 to order now.
Looking to take your party to the next level? Big Easy Inflatables has you covered. Serving the greater New Orleans area, we're proud to be your local 5-star rated provider for bounce houses, water slides, and party rentals. From birthdays to big events, we bring the fun right to your backyard. Booking is simple. Just visit BigEasyInflatable.com or call or text at 504-270-1793. Call us today. Make your next celebration unforgettable with Big Easy Inflatables, where the party starts.
Check it out, basketball fans. With 19 sport clips across the state, there's one right near you. Look sharp, Louisiana, and get the MVP experience. Precision cut, shampoo, even throw on that hot steam towel. Step in today, leaving feeling like a champ. Sport Clips Haircuts. It's a game changer.
What if your pet ever went missing? 1 in 3 pets go missing in their lifetime. Smart Tag 1. Tap or scan for instant ID. Real-time alerts. Instant location. Peace of mind. Powered by Smart Tag 1. Smart Tag 1. No app, no battery. Just tap. Scan, tap, locate.
I love sports. But is Sport Clips better than sports?
Because Sport Clips is sports. Plus a hot steam towel.
Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
All right, man. Basketball fans, that time of year, man, our favorite time of year. What happened to? Oh, there we go. Popped in and out on us.
Yeah, I'm back.
We appreciate it, man. We had some technical difficulties there, but man, we're getting it figured out. Let me get these guys up and rolling. First of all, man, appreciate you two guys for joining us here today, man. But look, anybody in the comments, man, tag some people, comment, let them know. I think this was really cool. Our first time last year was going, but man, it was everyone talking smack and stirring the pot and getting these things going. We had some post game interviews where we were getting kind of called out on some of the things we had said. But man, that's what it's all about, man. Getting the conversation started. We got the brackets released, so we're going to talk about each individual bracket. We're going to run it down from Division One all the way down to B and C. We lost Tatum again. Josh, man, appreciate you for joining us, man. Before we do get started, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your platform that you represent?
Just Josh Preston, mostly on YouTube, Instagram, of course. YouTube, you can probably just type in Josh Preston and it'll probably pop up. Getting close to 22,000 subscribers on there, so be cool to add a few more. And posting pretty regularly on Instagram, a little bit on TikTok, J Preston Sports 504, and then Instagram is just J Preston Sports. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Mr. Tate, man, you want to kind of tell them about yourself, man, the lead scout for Prep Hoops. Been doing a great job taking over that thing and moving that bar, continuing to keep it going and keep the conversation going about basketball here in Louisiana. But let them know where they can find you and how important Prep Hoops is.
All right, Donald Tatum, Prep Hoops, lead scout for the boys, also a scout on the ladies' side this year. You can reach out to me at donald.tatum73 on Instagram. Parents, players, coaches, fans, if you have a prospect, if you have a player that you're trying to help get promoted, trying to help get some exposure, or just want to have them on our radar, my inbox is open.
Love it, man. Love it, man. Wait, look, let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. Again, we will start off with the first Division 1 non-select. Zachary gets the bye. Denham Springs gets a bye. They win their first district title since a guy by the name of Tasman Mitchell put on a purple and gold Yellow Jacket jersey. So it's been quite some time, but they're having a great year so far. Man, who wants to start us off with this one, man? What's your thoughts, Tatum, on the top half of this division, this bracket? Who got a good draw, man? What's some teams you're looking for?
I mean, the teams you just named really are the teams to look out for. Zachary and Denham Springs. I've watched both of those teams play this year. Zachary right now looks like the best team in the state to me, A to Z. Their point guard is what I call a supreme point guard. There is basically not a flaw in the kid's game. So, when Ian Edmonds is on the court, good things can really happen. And then on the bottom end of that bracket with Denham Springs is one of those teams that just plays really hard. They got a bunch of really good guards. They don't have a bunch of size, but I've seen them beat teams by just simply outplaying them. So they got some football guys over there. They got some finesse guys over there. They got some shooters. Zachary and Denham Springs right now look really good to be coming out of that bracket.
Josh, man, what's your thoughts as well? You think? I mean, is Zachary just going to walk through this back to the Lake Charles? Defending state champs from last year. It's very difficult to win 2 in a row, especially at that Division I level. But man, they look like they got a shot at it. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm with Donald. I think they're probably the best team I've seen this year. I think I've probably seen them like 4 or 5 times now, and I wouldn't say they'll walk through. I don't know. They've been beating people pretty handily, but I probably wouldn't say they'll walk through. Ruston, obviously on the other side, if they end up meeting in the championship, will give them some problems. Kind of trying to look on their side. I don't know. Maybe I really like North Shore as kind of a group. They got a lot of good players. But I mean, Zachary just so disciplined and they just play so tough. I mean, they got Ethan Kimmy coming off the bench, who would be like the best player on most teams, or at least a lot of teams in the state. So they're the favorite in here. But I also I just noticed they're playing Covington too. They got a kid that I like a lot, Jordan Bedford, who's a junior. He can really go, and I actually not covered his dad, but I shot his dad in like this Big Easy league. It's like a semi-pro league, and I seen this kid, and I can see where he kind of gets it from. So.
Look, let me. I'm going to second your about North Shore. I've watched North Shore play several games. They dropped a couple tough games at the beginning of the season, but they might be a team that's peaking at the right time between Michael Dupree, Tyree Spencer. They got the young shooter over there, Andre Bright, and they got I don't know if that kid's in the 8th grade or 9th grade, but he's about 6'6", 6'7", and he holds it down in the post. So North Shore is definitely a team that could be a sleeper and upset some folks in that group. And also, I'm going to throw Airline and Neville out there. I'm going to represent the North. Neville has got a big win. They knocked off Ash, and Airline went down south and beat Hannon. So those are teams with talent, teams that can compete. I think the kids up here are really tough. So don't be surprised if a Neville or an Airline gets an upset in the first or the second round.
And, one thing that we really saw a lot in the girls' side is the districts of the teams that are, like, really, really good. You got Dillon Springs and Zachary, and, like, their districts are forcing all these other teams to kind of step up to that level. So no one's really talked about Santa Maria. Santa Maria's at that 8 seed. Now, they did get smacked by Dillon Springs, but, playing that level of competition, playing playoff-style basketball, quarterfinal-style basketball in that, last round of district, last week of the season, as definitely something to keep an eye on. I think a lot of these teams will be battle tested for the speed of play, but man, it looks like we got a lot of the same names: the Zacharys, Denhams. You got. We'll flip on down to the bottom side of the bracket, but again, you got a lot of the same names. Natchitoches Central and Zachary played each other in the semifinals last year. We'll go ahead and jump down to the bottom half. Again, guys, comment below, man. Tag anybody, let them know we're live. We really appreciate any feedback that you guys got as well. That kind of helps us continue to grow, and we'll be doing this each round of the playoffs. So the more information you guys can share with us, the better the broadcast will be. But Josh, we'll start off with you here. Again, Natchitoches Central made it to the top 28 last year, Final Four, whatever it is we want to call it. And you got Ruston there at the bottom, been a premier team across the state regardless of classification. Can anybody kind of compete with these two guys, and or who is some of your dark horses?
Yeah, Ruston I just kind of seen from afar. Natchitoches I haven't really laid any eyes on. Probably the team I'm most familiar with, or the couple of Slidell and actually South Lafourche. I saw South Lafourche once. They don't. I don't know if they really have like any one particular player that stands out. And when I watched them, I kind of thought, oh, maybe they're just kind of hot this game. But when I went back and looked at their schedule, like they beat some pretty good teams, or at least some pretty decent teams. So, I mean, they could be a little interesting in there. But and Slidell, other team I've seen a little bit of, and they're kind of deep. I do kind of liking them to North Shore, but I kind of like North Shore maybe a touch better. They're both really close in seeding. So I guess it kind of makes sense, but they're another interesting team that might can make some noise up down there.
I don't know how much you want to.
I think.
But before you get started, I don't know how much y'all want to stir the pot. But if you don't talk about Sulphur was pretty heated last year. Whenever we crystal balled them and talked about the other team, and they came out and smacked them in the mouth, and they have not lost a basketball game since December 28th. So. They're going on a few months of a win streak.
Where can you tell me where Sulphur is at? Is that even in Louisiana?
Oh man,
I don't know if it is or not, but we got some people in the comments that are definitely going to be clipping this one and might be playing at the team group text before the end of the night. But go ahead, man, dig yourself the hole if you want to. Go ahead.
Look, so I've watched. I've got a chance to get my eyes on Natchitoches Central, and of course, I live in Ruston, so I'm going to represent the boys from Ruston until somebody can knock them off. But right now, today, if I was scared of anybody in this bracket, it would have to be Natchitoches Central. Natchitoches Central is a lot like Denham Springs, and Ruston and Natchitoches Central, they have a history. So it seems like every time we feel like we've got an opportunity, it's always Natchitoches Central that's right there to break our hearts. But between Harold Remo, Jadale Demery, and the other guys that they have on that team, they're just tough. They play hard. They're a very disciplined team. And once they're locked in, it's just, I mean, once they get on your back, it's hard to get them off. So, I could see Ruston and Natchitoches Central being in a dogfight. Central BR is a team I got the opportunity to watch at the beginning of the season. Jace Conrad is one of my favorite basketball players to watch play. So, if you've got a kid out there that can light it up like him, anything can happen once you get into the playoffs, especially. Some of the other teams, including Sulphur, I haven't got the opportunity to watch. So, hey, look, if you guys are out there balling and y'all knock off one of these teams, I'm here for all of it. I just want to see some good basketball. And who else is that at the bottom of the bracket? Parkway. Parkway is a team. They've dropped a couple games recently, but they've got really good guards over there. They play really hard. They can mess around and upset somebody in the first round also.
Yeah, I'm just going on record. So you got my respect. I don't know if you got these gentlemen's respect just yet, but not losing a basketball game.
I don't believe it until I see it. So if y'all got kids out there, y'all hit my inbox, send me highlights, videos, huddle film. I want to see the kids from Sulphur. I can only get out and see so many kids play per season. So Sulphur, if you've got kids, Donald.Tatum73, spam my inbox with highlights and names and everything of those players. I'm a scout and I'm looking to highlight our players. And if a coach reaches out to me, if y'all have got a kid over there that deserves an opportunity, I'd love to say there's a great kid at Sulphur. So I haven't seen you guys yet, and I'll just say I don't believe it until I see it. So if y'all don't fill up my inbox, then I won't believe it.
I will go out and say this. As you get to this level of basketball, the 5A level, Division I, whatever it is you want to call it, you tend to see the top teams make it year in, year out. And that's like 1 through 4. It is so hard to go on the road in these environments where you got the whole school, thousands of people, packed house. It's very, very difficult to go on the road and win these games. With that being said, of the 4 teams that are the 4 highest seed, in y'all's opinion, who would you put on upset alert out of those 4 teams? And that is Zachary, Denham, Natchitoches Central, and Ruston. It's tough to win on the road. And like we said, we saw last year all 4 teams did win. But of those 4, you got to pick one. You got to give me one. Which one y'all got?
If I had to pick one to be on upset alert, I would say Denham Springs. Denham Springs has been kind of up and down this season. I know they have the players, and I know they're one of those tough teams, but I can't pick Ruston because I live here and I got to go to Super One and buy food. So I will not put Ruston on upset alert. We are too big, too strong, and if anybody from Ruston is listening, please understand we are the biggest. So I will not go against Ruston. I will have to watch them lose before I bet against them boys.
What you got, Josh?
I'll go Natchitoches just because I don't have too much of a reason. I just kind of check the schedule real quick. I see a late loss to Airline. They lost by 20 against Airline. So I guess maybe that goes to Donna with your point. Maybe they can make some noise in that upper half of the bracket. But yeah, I'll just throw out Natchitoches.
I think they had some players that were out on that loss to Airline.
Okay,
they had played a couple games in a row and had a couple of players that really weren't feeling well. So that might have played a little bit into it. Just like I said before about Airline. Airline is a tough team. They went down south, and shout out to Mr. Dantzler. They went down south and they beat Hannon.
And like to that point too, like Natchitoches Central does have to. Natchitoches Central does have to hold off Central BR team that made to the top 28 in the state championship game actually last year. So that's that again, a team that's battle tested. If anybody could go on the road, you could see a Central. And I don't know, man. Apparently, Sulphur has no chance at Ruston in the quarterfinals. But we'll see here in about a week from today, man. The phone call, your phone might be blowing up. You already released your email box. You might have to shut it down, man. You might have to shut it down if Sulphur wins that one. Man, again, guys, we appreciate all the comments, man. Comment any thoughts you got in there. And we appreciate it. We're going to continue to move along. Division I select, John Curtis. Man, I really like that squad. They just continue to get better. And you got a lot of the Catholic League schools there. It's kind of right there in Josh's wheelhouse. I think it was kind of like this time last year. Basketball in New Orleans, the greater area, was solid. But I feel like they've kind of taken another step, if not 2 steps up. Josh, man, what's your thoughts here on the Division I select and boys basketball as a whole here in New Orleans?
Yeah, man. I posted about it not I don't know, maybe like a couple weeks ago, but I just feel like the basketball has been really good in the city, just in the city and bad, like just in the surrounding area. Like it just feels like anybody can get beat, on any night. And I think a lot of these teams are pretty good. I mean, obviously Curtis has a bunch of guys. They go probably 6, 7, 8, 9 deep. And early in the year, it kind of seemed like it might be tough for everybody to kind of find a role and like find a niche, and everybody working on the same accord. But they really got that figured out. Like they look like they have great chemistry now. They just have to be the favorite, in Division I. They beat St. Aug twice. They beat Hannon. They beat pretty much everybody. They only lost to Jesuit, and I'm forgetting the other team they lost to right now. Who was it? Yeah, Zach. Yeah, I was at that game. Duh. Yeah, that's posted on the channel, matter of fact, so y'all can watch that one. But yeah, I think they're definitely the favorite in here. But there's a lot of teams. Pretty much all these Catholic League teams, if you catch them on the right night, they can beat pretty much anybody else in here.
Yeah, I think that's what
I'm gonna hop in on the flip side of that. The Catholic. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What I was about to say is the Catholic League teams that you say can beat anybody any night. I'm going to jump in and throw in the dark horse. I almost feel like this is deja vu because I said the same thing last year. I'm going with Huntington in this group. I think Huntington has played the toughest schedule, especially on the second half of the season. I've kept up with John Curtis, but I also feel like Huntington has shown most improvement in the season. Early on in their losses, they were implementing a new guy that had transferred in. Now he's got his footing, and I feel like he's leading that team. On the defensive side of the ball, Peyton Parker is doing a lot more offensively. Antonio Dixon and Austin. Oh, I can't think of Austin's last name, but they've got a really tough group over there. They can play the Catholic League style of ball, but I think they're more athletic than everybody else is over there. So Huntington has always been on the cusp. They've made it down south a few times, but I think with this group of guys, the senior leadership they have, the star power that they have in that 2027 group, and Jaden McDonald and JD over there leading those boys on defense, I think they're going to be a problem for this whole group. So I think upset alert. I think the North is going to take this one. Give me Huntington from top to bottom out of this division.
Like
not rolling. Curtis is I'm gonna have to see that. Getting Jesuit, because Jesuit they're one of the teams that beat Curtis, but they've been kind of a little up and down throughout like the last half of the season. Yeah. So I could see them being a quarterfinal matchup, and I'm taking Curtis.
Look, those 37 to 33 point game scores and all of that stuff. Like that Huntington is not going to let that happen. And if there's a team that I'm scared of, it would probably be that St. Mary's squad. They're the team that upset or beat Huntington last year. But if you go back and you watch that game, the end of the game, there were some questionable calls. So I think Huntington is on a revenge tour, and I think they make it all the way to the state championship.
Curtis, you don't have to worry about Curtis like playing slow. Like, I mean, again, that's a whole different topic. Every team will do that sometimes, but like Curtis shoots the ball. Like they got shooters everywhere. They mostly looking to get up shots. So yeah,
they have the only team that they played from what I'm looking at that plays any basketball like Huntington is Zachary, and Zachary won that game. So again, I'll say give me Huntington.
This comment right here. This comment right here by Michael, St. Thomas More is 13 in a row and 16 in the last 17. Is that to Lake Charles? If that's to Lake Charles, that's crazy. I ran out of Windows on my computer to try to keep up with it, but man, St. Thomas More made it to multiple back-to-back state championship games and stuff, and here they are at the bottom of this bracket, and no one's really talking about them. If y'all had a chance to watch St. Thomas More, if so, what's your thoughts on them? Again, a team that played in the state championship the last few years. I'm guessing they got a pretty good draw again. They got Carolyn's Catholic, somebody right down the road that they have already defeated. What's y'all's thoughts?
I saw them at the beginning of the year. They're a really good team, play disciplined basketball, but I'm taking Huntington still.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them. I'm just kind of pulling up their schedule. Not a ton of familiar teams I'm familiar with. I see they lost to Country Day, but they did beat Dunham. But Danny Bruce always kind of keeps them, in line. They always gonna play a certain way, and they always gonna be in the game. So I mean, you can't really count them out. But like I said, I haven't seen them.
And like, as a coach, what's y'all's thoughts? You got John Curtis and St. Thomas More, the higher seeds in this bracket. If the bracket does go as chalk, you would have John Curtis playing a district team in Jesuit in the quarterfinals, St. Thomas More playing a district team in Carolyn's Catholic in the quarterfinals. Is that something that you would like, or would you rather, if you're Curtis, play a Huntington, play somebody new? Like, what's y'all's thoughts on that? What would you want to play, a district team in the quarterfinals, or play somebody not from your district?
Well, and the thing about Jesuit is Jesuit has some really big wins this season. So if anybody's going to upset John Curtis, I would say that it would end up being Jesuit if they can get past Huntington.
I actually don't think so. Like, I would be pretty surprised if Curtis lost to Jesuit in the quarters. Like I said, they beat them. They gave them the first loss, I won't say, but it was in a tournament. I'm pretty sure Curtis had everybody that game. Curtis was missing one of the main players against Zachary, but I would be pretty surprised if they lost to Jesuit in the quarters.
That'll be a hell of an environment, though. I think I know where Josh Press will be at
for sure.
next Friday. John Curtis versus Jesuit. Somewhere's on the baseline with like 20 other people around him, man.
Yeah. Curtis and St. Aug was packed. Y'all should watch that one if y'all haven't seen it.
For sure. I second that, man. Curtis and St. Aug was slam packed, like Josh said, man. That's on this channel as well. We're gonna move it down to the bottom half. You got the defending state champs and the biggest and the baddest of Ash at the bottom of the bracket. What's y'all's thoughts here? Joshman, do you see a chance where somebody like a Brother Martin at a 10 seed could maybe make a run? Again, playing in the Catholic League, I think they are battle tested. That's something that I kind of caught there. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. Brother Martin, I would almost say Rummel, but Rummel's going to have to play St. Aug, and that's going to be a tough one. St. Aug handled that one pretty easy last time. They beat them by like 15, 20. And St. Aug just so well coached. And I have to say, Aaron Miles, I almost say quarterback, but point guard, 2027. Dog. I mean, he's one of those kids. If he was like 6'3", he might be like a top 150 kid in the country. He had a 26, 28 last game they played against who they play? Oh, Kennedy, who's got another really good point guard, Malik Lonzo, but we'll get to him. But I back to Brother Martin, I do think they can make a run. It'll be tough with Alexandria just because they don't have anybody that can deal with Tyshawn if he gets going. They don't really have a ton of size. Almost none of our teams have a ton of size. So that's really the impediment to all the teams down here. But I could see Brother Martin getting to the quarters.
So I think out of this bracket, I've got the opportunity to see. I've watched Tioga. Tioga is really good. Tioga has size. They have really good guards over there. They got a young guard over there that can shoot the peel off the ball. So I like Tioga. I actually like Tioga coming out of that bracket, and then Alexandria. So Alexandria is actually going to be my pick. Yeah, Ash is going to be my pick to come out of the whole deal. I don't think anybody over there has anybody that can deal with Tyshawn. And not only deal with Tyshawn, Jarvel Bordelon has actually been the biggest problem on the team for coaches to figure out. So while everybody is trying to figure out how to stop Tyshawn, Jarvel Bordelon is putting together an all-state season. So I think St. Aug, Archbishop Rummel, I don't think that those teams have the size to handle an Ash in a game.
Again, but what's your thoughts on whenever you get to that bigger stage, a bigger court? I guess maybe that plays a little bit of impact. Like you said, it's gonna be so hard to go into Ash playing in that environment versus in Burton, where maybe we saw it last year where St. Aug can pick up full court man to man, can kind of stretch the game out a little bit more. What's y'all's thoughts on that? Is there anybody that can go into Ash and win at Ash? Man, I mean, I think that's gonna be really tough. What's y'all's thoughts on that?
I don't think so. I don't see it. I think one of the best teams that I've watched this season was Peabody, and Peabody went to Ash and lost. I don't see anybody going into Ash and beating them. But if anybody could do it, it would be Tioga. But I mean, those kind of crosstown rivals. But if I had to pick a team, I would go ahead and stick with Ash. Ash is a complete team. And another kid I left out. I left out their point guard. So they have a true point guard over there that is not really concerned with scoring, but he's really efficient and he feeds the guys that can he feeds the guys and puts them in places for them to do what they do best. They got two good shooters, a great post player, and a slasher. So I really like Ash coming out of that group.
Yeah, I would still go with Ash too. Like I mentioned, Brother Mom, but they're still fairly young. They got a lot of juniors. I think we have a huge 2027 class, just probably it sounds across the state. But I know just from teams I've covered, like a bunch of kids are coming back. Coming back next year. So maybe next year they can make a deeper run. But I would probably go with Ash in that bracket.
Yeah, same thing like we talked about last year.
Well, I don't know about over St. Aug. That's gonna be interesting.
Same thing we had talked about with the last division, man. This division, again, you just see it every year. There's not very many upsets whenever it gets to the top seeded teams year in, year out make it. And John Curtis was the only team that went on the road and they upset Catholic last year. So that's something to keep an eye on, man. These teams that get these top 4 seeds, home court advantage is freaking huge in these bigger schools. And it's going to be hostile environments. It's going to be a great crowd on hand. In order to go on the road and beat one of these top 4 teams, you're going to have to really bring it. But, guys, we're going to jump down to Division II non-select. The Wasserman Invitational, or so we've called it on the girls' side. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts here on this draw? And then you got the Big B at the bottom, man. I know you're a Bossier fan. What's your thoughts on this draw here?
So, look, everybody knows I'm a big Bossier fan, and right now the way everything is set up, it looks like Bossier should be running in the Franklin Parish in the semis, and then on the top of that bracket, I got the opportunity to watch Opelousas. So I actually think I like Opelousas. If there's going to be an upset in the top of that bracket, I think Opelousas have the opportunity to make some noise over there. But I think if they end up running into Wasserman, I think Wasserman is going to be able to take care of them. Opelousas lost one of their best players to an injury, and I think they'll be spirited for the first couple of rounds. But once they get to the semis, I don't think they'll be able to get past Wasserman. And then back to Bossier. I mean, nothing bigger than the B. I love Franklin Parish. They're one of the biggest teams that I've seen play this year. But I just don't think they're going to have enough to be able to deal with Bossier.
And that's a rematch of the state championship.
Yeah, I will go with it.
What Wasserman and Bossier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably be going chalk here too. I've probably only seen a couple of these teams in this bracket, so
What what about your thoughts on what I've been watching, man, with Bozier and Watson both, man? Scheduling tough, man. Like I guess whenever you're a team that is trying to keep up with a Wasp and to keep up with a Bozier, it's like these guys are going out playing anybody, everybody, especially early in the season, man. I see those two guys in everyone else's gyms, scouting games as well. Well, again, like we talk about the Zacharys and the teams that are raising the bar. Like, what y'all's thoughts on that? Just Wassman and Bozier as a program in itself. Like we said, they're not ducking anybody, going out and playing everybody.
So that's one of the things about some of these teams that I talk about. Huntington has been all over the state, pretty much playing everybody that they can. So I saw somebody post that they lost to Bozier by 20, but they also beat Bozier. So these are top teams in the state. They're playing against each other, constantly challenging each other. Huntington spent time down south playing some of the top teams down there earlier in the season. Bozier spent some time playing some of the top teams in the season. They've also made a couple of trips down south. I actually watched them play against Ruston a couple of weeks ago. Franklin Parish has played a really tough schedule. So these teams that that I'm kind of leaning on, thinking that they can make some noise. These are the teams that have played the tougher schedules and really played the tougher teams. These guys are running around looking for the smoke and they're trying to get touched. Some of the teams that I look at, I really just don't know if they're battle tested. So I wouldn't bet anything on a team that I'm not 100% sure is battle tested.
The dudes at the top of this division, man, they're setting the bar high, with being battle tested. We'll move on down to the bottom half. You got Bruley at the 3 seed, Northwest at the 2 seed. Man, I saw Northwest this year in the JSC event. Man, they got some people that can go, and they got a guard that's long, lanky, can create off the bounce, can really fill it up when he gets going. What's some teams on this side of the bracket that you guys like? I think all, whatever this is, 14 teams on this side of the bracket are just fired up and licking their chops that they don't have Bozier or Wasson on this side. I think everybody on this side of the bracket loves their draw. That's just me putting it out there. But what's y'all's thoughts on this side of the bracket?
So I really like. So I've watched Northwest. I actually went and spent a couple of days at Northwest watching them play basketball. So Cortland Young is the point guard out there. He just picked up an offer. Marquez Davis is the lanky guard that you were talking about. He's actually put on some weight. He's looking like a next level basketball player. And they've got,
are they seniors?
No, Cortland is a senior and Marquez is a junior. And they've got another. They've got another kid that plays in the post that does a lot of the dirty work over there. So Northwest is a team that could upset this whole division and break my heart and take out a team like Bozier or a Wiseman. So nobody should sleep on that team. But if I had to pick a sleeper out of this group, I'm going with the Monroe favorite, Sterlington. Cooper Nelson is one of the best players in the state. He's scored almost 3,000 points. I mean, his stats are absolutely ridiculous and crazy. And I think the last 3 years he's been playing in one of the toughest districts in the state. And I think he's built for this moment. So if it's going to happen, if there's going to be an upset in this group, it's going to be Sterlington moving on. And I think that he can carry that squad and get them down south. And Cooper's a really good player, but he's actually got a really good group of guys over there. He's got some kids with size over there, and he really understands how to play with those guys. So give me Sterlington for the upset and meeting up with Bruce Lee at some point.
And Bruley's made it to back-to-back.
The only.
Go ahead, Josh.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say the only team I've seen on here is Bell Chase. I saw them a couple times, and I do like that team. They go probably like 4 or 5 deep. They got a St. Jaden King that's pretty good, and then a junior Elijah Scarborough is probably their 2 main guys, and it's kind of they both probably around like 20 a game, and they play some pretty good teams. So I don't know how deep they can go here. From the sounds of it, I probably wouldn't pick them against Northwest, but I could see them getting a win or two, and maybe getting the quarters.
Guys in the comments, when's the last time Northwest made it to the top 28? Trying to pull that up. Seems like they can't get over that hump in the quarterfinals. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Like you talk about with the Bell Chase or somebody that could go down to Opelousas, grab some Mama's fried chicken, put Northwest out of it. But I don't know, man. That's something to keep an eye on. Bruley is a consistent team. I like to try to look at a little bit of tradition whenever we get down to this. Bruley has made it to back-to-back. I'm trying to see where they made it, and they made it to the quarterfinals the year before that. So Bruley's been a team, man. Now, they haven't won a state title, but it seems like every year they're in the quarterfinals, the top 28. Here they are again with a number 3 next to their name. Bruley versus Northwest would be a rematch of a quarterfinal from a couple years ago. But I do believe, in my opinion, that this side of the bracket is a little bit lighter. So if we were to see a team get upset, I would think it would be on this side. But yeah, guys, let us know in the comments, man. When's the last time Northwest made it to the top 28? If somebody does know that, as well as the last time Bruley actually won a state title. We're going to go ahead and move it on along. Next up, man, the Madison Prep Invitational. Coach Jeff Jones, the guy's pretty good at coaching basketball, if you ask me. We will be nominating him for the John Wooden Coach of the Year Award, National Coach of the Year Award. He's done a pretty good job over there with the Chargers. Man, that's an interesting matchup, Madison Prep versus Hannon. I know Tatum can't wait to talk about that one. Madison Prep is similar to what it's called, Taxes with Uncle Sam. Every year they come around, every year they make it to the top 28. What's your thoughts here, man? What you see on this side?
Well, I mean, just looking at this bracket, this might be the toughest bracket that I've looked at. I've watched Madison Prep play at length, and I mean, really, there's nothing that Madison Prep can't do on the basketball court. They've got a freshman over there. They've got a freshman over there that's playing lights out basketball. Elijah Garner is playing lights out basketball. They've got I think his name is Landon Bass, the kid that they have playing in the middle is playing lights out basketball. I've seen them here in northern Louisiana. I've watched them play in southern Louisiana. They packed their bags and they moved around all season. So as far as if you're talking about teams that are battle tested, I don't know if there's a team that's more battle tested than Madison Prep. Vanderbilt Catholic looks really good. I've watched Hannon, but I only saw Hannon early in the season in the game where they lost to Airline, and also that was the same weekend that they lost to Zachary. So I see Archbishop Hannon. I don't know if they've got enough to get past Madison Prep. They don't have the big man that they had last year to kind of carry him through. There goes Mr. Dan. Look.
Yeah. I was wondering if you saw that.
Look, but I will say this about Hannon. I've said this 2 or 3 times before, is even though I'm not picking Hannon is a really tough team. I think they can beat anybody on any given day. But if I had to make a bet, I'm going to take Madison Prep coming out of that bracket. And then moving down, Lake Charles College Prep. Lake Charles College Prep is probably one of the most athletic teams in the state. I saw them down south and I watched them up north. So Lake Charles College Prep is actually a team that can pop anybody. And right now, I don't know if you guys remember Javon Vital from last year that was at Hamilton Christian, that led that Hamilton Christian group to that state championship. So he's on that roster now, holding down that point guard position. And I like the way the kid plays ball. I love his leadership style. And with him, Evan Burns, I can't think of the other kids' names, but I think down there on that side of the bracket, I think Lake Charles College Prep is probably the most dangerous team on that side of the bracket.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of talent in this bracket, man. There's a lot of talent as far as coaches. There's a lot of talent as far as players, seniors, juniors, freshmen, everywhere. Like this bracket is freaking loaded. Josh, man, what's your thoughts here on this part of the bracket?
As far as the top half, yeah, Madison Prep is, they're definitely the favorite here. And I really like Hannon. Jay Dantzler, the point guard, it's a sophomore. I think he's probably their best guy. Cornelius Wooders, a junior, he can really like if he gets hot. I think he had like 5 threes against St. Aug. And the second time they played, those two actually played 3 times. I know they were sick of each other, but like I said, I really like both of those teams. Madison Prep. I think Madison Prep added a kid like mid-season. Did any not like but like then they get an injury kid back or something like that. But anyway, they're really interesting. And then the point guard you mentioned, TJ Baloo. I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, but he's a player too. He's gonna be real good. And he's still a freshman. And you already mentioned Elijah. He's gonna be there, night in and night out. So
yeah. And even like when you look at the bottom of that bracket, that Booker T has one of the top players in the state on their squad. Parkview Baptist has the number 2 player in the class of 2028. One of the kids that's going to be a top 2029 player. Kobe Evans, Caden Irwin, Nas Bell is at Booker T. Like, I mean, Rock Cow, you got the 6'10", 6'11 kid that's at St. Michael. Livingston is at St. Michael. Like, there's so much talent in that group that, I mean, this literally looks like the toughest bracket that I've looked at so far.
For sure. We got a couple more Sulphur people coming in late. Mr. Tatum is still trying to find out where Sulphur High School is located. So if anybody in the comments can let us know. You may have to, go back a couple divisions, but we already broadcasted Sulphur. He gave them no respect, said they got no chance of making it, man. No chance.
That was him.
Oh, man. Then we we went to the wrong side. Let's see. My bad. Then we go down to the bottom half. But before we get into the dang, am I on the wrong one? Dang, where's Peabody at? Did I copy the wrong one? Supposed to be Peabody at the bottom. Dang, I might have put Northwest on there twice. Shoot. Yep, supposed to be Northwest. We'll have to comment about that one from on ourselves. But so we're gonna move down to the bottom half. Washington Marion's got the 3 seed. They were one of the top 25 teams that we had regardless of classification. John F. Kennedy. Josh was talking about them. U-High's been playing really, really well over there in Baton Rouge, and got Peabody. Of course, Peabody at the bottom with the Hall of Fame coach himself. Before we do get to that, man, I do want to talk about Madison Prep again. 14 straight Final Fours, 14 times in a row they've made it. So Mr. Dantzler is saying they're going to make it to Lake Charles. I don't know if we want to backtrack, but 2011, 2011. I don't remember what everyone was doing back in 2011, but go back in your brain. That was the last time Madison Prep did not make it to Lake Charles. So when I say you got a huge mountain to climb, that is one of the tallest mountains in this division. So in order to get to Lake Charles, you got to go through the team that's been there 14 straight times in a row. But yeah, man, let's get down to the bottom half of this bracket. We do not have it in here. Actually, accidentally doubled the Northwest one. But who wants to start us off with this one?
I could probably start us off here. We've been mentioning Madison Prep, but last year the team that beat them was Shaw, and they're back, but they are a little bit different this year. They don't have Kobe Butler, who's at Jackson State, playing pretty good minutes as a freshman. But Shaw does still have who I think is probably he might be like a top 5 kid, like regardless of class, and Tristan Akeem. He's a 2027 kid. He's like 6'7", 6'8", but like he's just incredibly skilled. I mean, I think he's gonna play Division I probably straight out of high school. Like and that's really tough to do these days. But I think he's that level of player. He missed a bunch of time. Like he got hurt the first game of the year at Madison Prep. Matter of fact, I was at that game too, so you can watch that one. Christian Clare went insane. Christian Clare had 35, 36, something crazy like that. And they still lost that game, but he was like a one-man show. And Shaw is going to be really interesting. They did lose Alan Shaw, who was the other point guard. He broke his ankle against Zachary. I was also at that game, so you can watch that one too. But they're going to be they got Kennedy in the next round. That's going to be a real tough game. Douglas, I've seen a good bit of Douglas. I don't think Shaw have too much trouble just because Douglas is kind of still finding their way. But I think Shaw and Kennedy is going to be a battle. That game is going to be it's going to be hard to beat that one that night. And I do have to mention for Kennedy too. I mentioned Malik Lonzo, 2026 point guard. He's been one of the best players I've seen this year. I mean, he showed us the load for them. I'm not entirely, but like as a ball handler, he's it. He'll play like the whole game. He's setting up everybody. He's making all the decisions. He's a low turnover kid, despite having the ball all the time. And him and Joe Bernardez, who's another senior. Kennedy is probably the most experienced team down there. They start 5 seniors, so they're gonna be really tough. And Coach Bird has done a great job with them. That game with them and Shaw is gonna be a battle.
I think Shaw losing. I think that really hurts them a lot. The leadership, the defense, and everything that he brought to the table. I mean, I was just sitting in a gym somewhere in Shreveport, and somebody brought up that kid talking about how he looked 2 years ago. So, from the lead point and just the intangibles that he brings to the game, I think they lost a lot. But he's got a little brother who's a diet version of him, but doesn't smile as much. So he may be able to pick up that slack.
Cinco.
Yeah, Cinco.
They don't play Cinco too much. At least they might play him a little bit more now with Red out, but
yeah. And Greer actually has been playing really good basketball. He's been filling it up since the beginning of the season.
Yeah,
but if I had to go with somebody, I'm going to go with the experience. I like Peabody. I've watched Peabody play a lot. I watched Peabody beat Ruston in Grambling, and it was a jam-packed game, and everybody was going crazy. Ruston was dunking all over the place, and they literally acted like they were walking in the park and turned the game around. And it was definitely one of the best games that I got the opportunity to watch this year. And the performance by the freshmen was one of the best performances that I got to see this year. And 2 or 3 weeks before that, Devontae Sword from that school put on one of the best shooting performances that I've seen. So if you haven't got the opportunity to watch Peabody and are just, kind of going based off what they've been in the past, Peabody is back. They're tough.
He's saying Peabody is back. Peabody made it to the Final Four last year as well. We're a Final Four team, but now they're officially
really
back.
leave, right?
Yeah, now they're officially back, man. And that's just a testament to Peabody and the engine that they got over there, man. This is a very interesting part of the bracket. I think like Josh was saying, you got some guys that can put a team on their back, man, and can possibly go on the road and win a game. I think you're going to see some big time basketball throughout this whole division, man. This is probably the division I'm most excited about, especially when it gets down to those second round, those quarterfinal games. Like you're talking about with that Shaw and Kennedy game, very sneaky, really, really good game. It's fun, man. It's gonna be fun to watch, especially with Shaw being in that 11 seed. And Shaw has lost one game since Christmas, and that was to Zachary.
Yeah.
So they got a little bit of momentum going to be an 11 seed. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, and that's not a coincidence. That's kind of like around the time Tristan came back. So, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, man. We're going to get it going into Division 3 non-select. Got Marksville, again, another team that seems to be in it every single year. You got Doyle, the 4 seed. Donaldsonville's your 3 seed. Madison's a 2 seed. What y'all's thoughts here on this part of the bracket? I think this bracket is obviously not as deep as the others. This one might be a little bit more wide open, but it is a little top heavy. Tatum, man, what's your thoughts here, Division 3 non-select?
Marksville is one of the best teams that I've got the opportunity to watch here this year. The Benjamin kid that ended up at Marksville from Avoya Charter is doing a great job over there with that group. Dane Small has really come along and elevated his game. So Marksville, if I had to pick they're number 1, so I'm going to go with them as the favorites. I've watched Mansfield. Mansfield is dangerous. They play up here in Shreveport. They play a lot of really tough teams. French Settlement is going to be interesting. Friday night, I'll probably go and watch Richwood versus Union Parish. Richwood still has Trey Lane, and he still could, lead those boys back down south. Caldwell. I also watch Gina. Gina's a tough squad, but I think Richwood would be my favorite coming out of that side of the bracket. And then Marksville just looking elite right now.
Yeah, this is a bracket I'm just not that familiar with. Marksville, just from kind of watching them from afar, just kind of seeing who they played. They pretty much look like the favorite here, but yeah, I'll just piggyback off of whatever Tatum says in this bracket. I agree with him.
We got a couple comments, man. They want to know where did Peabody go, man. Everybody wants to know where did Peabody go. They just want to
what I said. I don't know if they win anymore.
Look, I didn't make it down there last year until the finals, and they were in the finals. So when I say they're back, I'm saying expect the boys to be in the finals.
Hey, Washington Marion's asking for some respect on their name, man. Asking for some respect on their name. We talked about Lake Charles College Prep, the team up the road, but we're not giving Washington Marion no love either.
Wait a minute. So I must not have been looking, or maybe it didn't pop up. So Washington Marion, I can't remember what bracket they're in, but I've watched Washington Marion 5 or 6. Okay, so I've watched Washington Marion 5 or 6 times this season, and they might be, top 3 most talented teams in the state with Khalil, Monte, Victor, and the other kids that they have over there. I said that they're a team that has come up north here to play. They pushed Wiseman up here, and they had 2 or 3 players that were sick. So, whatever bracket Washington Marion is in, go ahead and pencil me in as saying that they're the favorite wherever they're at.
Yeah, Washington Marion's a 3 seed, Peabody's a 2 seed. So we're gonna find out who's back for sure. That'll be a hell of a game in Lake Charles.
Look, I'll try to wherever they're playing at. I'll try to be there for that game. And then somebody said something about Madison. I guess it didn't pop up, but Madison is one of those teams. They're a high seed because they're one of the better teams from up north. People are talking about Brian Vaughn. Brian Vaughn is a kid that a lot of people just don't know in the state. I just found him on Instagram maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. So to all my people in Madison that says Brian Vaughn is underranked and underrated, the kid is ranked top 15 in the state, but I probably spent 2 or 3 hours trying to find his Instagram, and I actually found him on Facebook first. So Brian Vaughn is one of them. And look, if there's a coach that's looking for a point guard, go watch Madison play. Brian Vaughn is one of the best guards in the state. He literally can do it all. He can shoot the ball. He's a throwback guard that he is a master facilitator. There is nothing wrong with that kid's game. But also over there, you've got Dawson Brown. Dawson Brown over there. Like, Madison is a team full of dogs. So I would not be surprised if they make it down south and end up popping one of these other teams that I'm talking so highly about.
I wish I could follow Brian Vaughn, but I can't find him on Twitter. These kids never name themselves on Twitter. They always gotta be _ hot shot shooter, whatever. I mean, it's cool.
People in these communities, they expect us to be able to find these. Brian Vaughn. I found him a year ago, and when I went to the Madison Max Prep page, it just said D. Vaughn. So I didn't even know what the kid's name was. So everybody in Madison, if you have his Instagram, share his Instagram, tag me in everything that the kid does, and I'll try to get all his information to as many coaches as possible because he is, in fact, one of them.
Well, wonder what he looks like. I haven't seen him on Instagram. Can't find him.
Man, on this top half of this bracket, man, I'm very interested to see with the 4 seed Doyle, man. Like you talked about, French Settlement at the 8 seed has defeated Doyle. Doyle just, when we talk about being battle tested, has not challenged themselves like everyone else in this part of the bracket. So I think this is going to be one of those brackets where we do see not as much chalk. Doyle will definitely have home court advantage throughout. But, man, I think if I'm on that part of the bracket, I'm excited just with an opportunity. Like you said, that bottom part of the bracket, you could even see your defending state champion, Richwood, at that 12 seed, possibly make a run with a little bit of experience that they had. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the Rams, man. They got a very, very good draw despite being a 12 seed. But we'll move it down to the bottom part of the bracket. This is where you got Madison at the 2 seed, Downsville at the 3 seed. Tatum, man, you talked a lot about Madison, man. You like their draw here, or what's some other teams? We had some people commenting about Red River earlier having a good draw. What's your thoughts on this part of the bracket?
So Port Allen is a team. Look, I've got the opportunity to watch Port Allen. Port Allen is a tough squad. So if Port Allen comes out of that first round, I'll probably make the trip to go watch them play against Madison. Another team people are talking about, Red River. Red River is one of the toughest teams that I've watched play that I've watched play this year. I watched them play Natchitoches Central and push Natchitoches Central to the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. They played Ruston Tough about a week ago. I've watched them play in Shreveport. They've just got a bunch of tough kids over there at Red River. Red River is, probably a smaller division version of Denham Springs and Natchitoches Central. And when kids play that hard and leave it all out there on the court like that, I mean, they can beat anybody when they get the opportunity. Another team that I've got the chance to watch is Rayville. Rayville is a tough squad. They've got a top 5 player in the 2028 class that can get going. His brother is over there with him, and they can fill it up at any given time. In the last few games that they've lost, they only lost to Wiseman by a couple of points recently. Like, they have really started to put it together, and even though they're having these tough losses, I think they might be peaking at the right time.
Josh, got anything on this part of the bracket?
No, honestly, no. I agree with everything Donald said.
I will say, man, like I don't know how many people watching this or that will be watching this have been to St. Helena. St. Helena is a hard place to play at. So for St. Helena to have 2 home games, like, you're gonna drive a long ways. You're gonna, get to the end of the earth. And you're gonna, decide whether you want to make a right or a left. You're gonna make a left. You're gonna go down. You're gonna hit another stop sign. There won't be any red lights, but you hit a couple stop signs, and then the gym will be there. And the gym sunk down. Everyone's kind of on top of you. So a quarterfinal game with first and second round game, I guess, with St. Helena, man, that's gonna be very hard to play. So I would definitely look to see Madison and St. Helena in the quarterfinals. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit. I used to work in Hammond, and St. Helena was one of the teams in like our coverage zone. And yeah, they are definitely way out like in the sticks. And a lot of those gyms out there were built like that, where like the stands were raised, and it's almost like a Coliseum battle type of deal. And like St. Helena was like that. Amite, they used to have a gym like that too, but now they got a new one. But their old one was like that. I used to always like those games.
For sure, man.
If you look up Devontae Smith highlights, you can probably find some of my stuff with them in that gym.
For sure. All right, man. We'll keep it moving, guys. We got another Sulphur fan in the building. I don't know if Tatum wants to comment anything about the Sulphur Tours, but apparently they're not going to win very many games this year in the playoffs. We're still trying to find them on the map. But we're gonna get it moving, man.
I'm still trying to find the Sulphur players. Like I said before, my inbox is open. Fill my inbox up with players from Sulphur. I'm trying to find out where the talent is at. So until somebody sends me some players from Sulphur, until I know where they are, I'm picking everybody else.
I love it, man. We've got Division III Select Calvary Baptist. Man, is this the year that Calvary Baptist gets the monkey off their back and walks away with the state championship trophy? For some reason, it's just cursed. I don't know, between Vic and Corey Arnold, I don't know who's cursed more and just can't win the big one. But, man, what's y'all's thoughts on Calvary Baptist in this top part of the bracket?
I want to say that Calvary Baptist is going to win it this year. I absolutely love that Calvary Baptist squad, but I've watched Dunham play, and they are so doggone scary. It's going to be tough. There's not going to be any easy. Nobody's going to win this easy. It's going to come down to who has the better strategy at the end of the game, because talent-wise, I think everybody matches up perfectly. But you know what? For this bracket, I'm going to say I like Calvary Baptist right now. I'm not going to get ahead of myself.
Yeah, for this top half, I definitely would still lean Calvary, but man, De La Salle is a team I really, really like. Chase Barker is a 2027 kid, and like the dude can go, bro. Like I love his game. He's super smooth. He probably like 6'2", 6'3", got good size. I think Jacksonville State offered him a while back, and you know, I think he can get a little better, like having a plan when he's getting into the lane and finishing. But I really like his game. And then Manny Young is another 2027 guard next to him. They're both juniors. And if he gets hot, like he can really, you know, hit you with 4 or 5 threes. They got another kid. Number 2 is I'm blanking on his name, but another shooter. And then Chris Johnson, who's a sophomore, another shooter. He can play, get in the lane, and do some stuff. So I do really like that De La Salle team. They're gonna be interesting.
Guys in the comment or Josh,
let me throw this in there also.
When's the last time De La Salle?
I wanted to say.
Oh man, probably like 2020-ish, like around when they had Jacoby and Abram Fry. So probably like around 2020-ish.
It's been some time, yeah. Because I went back and looked at the last 3 to 4 years. They haven't made it past the quarter, so definitely a new name in this division. This division has tend to be the same names over and over. Calvary Baptist. You got the defending state champs in Country Day. You got Dunham. You know, it's been the kind of same names over and over and over. But it's nice to see a new name on the block.
Yeah.
Tatum, what were you saying, man? Before I cut you off.
I was going to throw in LRCA is actually playing really good basketball this year. Xavier Baker, I think his name is to watch over there. X is having a really, really good season. And then looking at that 12 spot, Lafayette Christian jumps out. Christian Bernard, who just committed to ULL, is doing a great job leading that group of kids over there. So, I mean, this is another tough bracket. They've got a bunch of tough, spunky teams over there. I'll definitely be tuned in for these games, but I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if LRCA and Lafayette Christian could get the opportunity to play each other.
That'd be a rematch, a game that teams are one exit away. So that would be definitely really fun for second round matchup. And then whoever does come out of that, especially if it's LRCA and De La Salle, you have fresh new blood coming out of that in the quarterfinals, man. That's definitely an interesting part of the bracket. Definitely something to keep an eye on. I think all those teams are really excited with their draw. You know, like you said, LCA has beat LRCA, so they definitely got to love their draw, get another opportunity to win a game in the second round. LRCA is a 5 seed. Playing, if they do win that, they could get De La Salle and the team that hasn't made it to the top 28 in quite some time. So definitely that part of the bracket is really, really fun to keep an eye on. We'll move it down to the bottom part. You got your defending state champs, Metairie Country Day. You got St. Louis Catholic. They're versatile as well. And then you got Dunham and just the growth of Baton Rouge basketball. You know, Zachary and Liberty and Central and Denham, and just forcing everyone else around them to continue to get better. And you see Dunham and Geo next, another team out of Baton Rouge, with a high seed here in this part of the bracket.
Yeah.
Tatum, man, what's your thoughts on this part of the bracket?
So I really like Metairie Park Country Day. I've watched several of their games via Josh's platform. Shout out to you, Josh. Thank you for posting those games. Herman Dyson is one of my favorite players to watch, just because of his basketball IQ and the intensity and the intelligence that he brings to the game. Any coach that reaches out to me that's looking for a kid, I always tell them to check out Herman Dyson. If you get the opportunity to watch him play, it won't take you long to figure out, why Country Day continues to win. I really like St. Louis Catholic. They've got a 2028 kid over there that I really think is going to be special.
Draylon O'Key, I think.
Draylon O'Key. So I think O'Key is going to be special. You know, he has all of the tools, but he kind of also has the intangibles. You know, I like to watch a kid in uniform after he makes a shot, turn around and flex to the crowd and all of that stuff. He's an energy kid. And on top of that, they've got twin brothers over there that can shoot the ball really well. So I wouldn't be surprised if St. Louis Catholic made some noise over there. Geo Next Gen is a team I got to watch play in the summer. I think they've had a really, really good season. I haven't got the opportunity to watch them play more than once, but that's a team I'm pretty excited about watching play also. And then, like I mentioned before, Dunham. I have not seen Dunham play live, but it's big on television. So between Elijah Haven, and I can't think of the kid's name that plays next to him, and then AJ Olivier, I think, is the point guard.
Yeah, AJ.
AJ Olivier he's shooting the peel off the ball this year. So you've got three guys that are gonna play some sport at the next level on the court, and they're high IQ kids. They're just, Dunham is just tough. So yeah.
For me, I guess just to kind of keep going with Dunham, I think the other kid you think about is Jarvis Washington, who's he's a senior. He's where is he committed? He's committed somewhere for football. I want to not UL, but somewhere a school like that.
Like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, he's like 6'5", 6'6". But really, you hit on it. I mean, Elijah Haven, we know him. You know, he's the 5-star quarterback. Pretty much gonna have his pick of where he wants to go. 2027 kid. He drives the ship, the engine, whatever you want to phrase it. But AJ Olivier, he really can get going. Like when they're one of two teams to beat St. Aug. I think 2 or 3 teams to beat St. Aug, and AJ Olivier was pretty much the main reason for one of them. He had like 7 threes. I think he had close to 30 in that game. 6 or 7 threes at close to 30. So they're gonna be a tough out for sure. And Elijah Haven he's just a man down there. It's very tough to deal with him. I would also have to shout out Jefferson Rise real quick because I think this might be their first time making the playoffs. I didn't get a chance to see him, but I just wanted to shout him out. And like you said, I'm with you 100% on O'Keefe from St. Louis Catholic. They're a real interesting team. And Country Day, really, you mentioned Herm already. Herm Dyson, he's a senior. Coach McGuire is kind of likened him to Draymond Green before. Like he's kind of like a spitting image of Draymond Green. Like the middle of the offense, like he's kind of running everything. He's rebounding, he's defense, like he's communicating, like all that little stuff that you love for as a coach. Like he's not really looking to shoot, but he can score like in the paint. He almost never shoots, jumpers, but he knows how to play the game. He's just somebody you want on your team.
It's weird to watch.
Yeah,
man. It's literally weird to watch, but he just gets it done. And last year in that state championship game, they kept giving him the ball, and if he didn't score, he put somebody else in position to score. And having a 6'4", 6'5" coach on the court, it makes them dangerous.
Yeah, and I definitely have to mention Kellen Brewer, who's they call him KB. That's Corey Brewer's son. He's their best player, really. He can get it. He's probably most dangerous when he's going downhill. Like if he gets it on the break or if he boards it, like once he starts pushing it, he is tough to kind of stay in front of or, just stop his momentum. And he can also really shoot it too when he gets going. He's taking a big step, and I'm really, really loving his game. I think Country Day has had not quite the chemistry they had last year, but I haven't seen them maybe in the last couple of weeks, so maybe they're kind of back on track. But those two are, the main guys for sure. And Curtis McAllister too, who's Deuce McAllister's son. He's a sophomore, and he's a good player too. So
you got Rice Dolly over there, and they got
Reese
Dolly and Chase Knight is over there too. I mean, their chemistry issues that they have in it is probably got something to do with the fact that they have so much talent. So between Chase, Rice, McAllister, and the other guys, that coach over there got good problems.
Reese Dilly is a 2029 kid. He's a freshman who was playing last year as an 8th grader. He's going to be one of the top kids in the state for that class for sure. Easy.
I know you guys talked about it with St. Louis
Yeah.
Catholic, man, but I just want to rally off the losses that they've had since Christmas. And this is the only losses that they've had. When we talk about strength of schedule, man, a lot of teams we've been talking about, they've lost to Lake Charles College Prep. They've lost to them twice. They've lost to Ash. They've lost to Shaw. And they've lost to Lafayette Renaissance. So as far as challenging yourself, that's definitely a very sneaky six seed right there. And, looking at Country Day's schedule, not quite as battle tested this year, although they are the defending state champs. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man. But definitely keep an eye out on St. Louis Catholic, man, being at that six seed. They are better than that six seed spot for sure. But yeah, man, they're saying no chance that the Boogeyman doesn't get it done this year, man. Boogeyman's going to get it done. Mr. TJ, man. Mr. TJ.
I am inclined to. I'm inclined to agree with everybody in the comments. TJ will not lose it this year, but Dunham is scary. And look, you know what? Just for that Calvary Baptist group, I mean, Tyrone Jameson he's the lead guy for that team, but Jaden Hall is his one of his running mates, and his light is shining just as bright as TJ's right now. You got Robert Wright over there, Craig Davis. I mean, they're a stacked team over there. Jamarian, like that whole group, they've got a great group of guys. They've been playing together for years. They all feed off of each other. Like watching them play basketball it's one of the reasons why I like going to the gym. So do I believe somebody's going to beat Calvary Baptist? No, but I'm still scared of Dunham.
Love it, man. We're going to move it along, guys. Again, appreciate everybody in the comments, man. Comment any thoughts, any feedback you got. Division 4 non-select. We got Faraday at the 1 seed, West St. Mary's at the 4, East Iberville at the 3, Lakeview at the 2. Someone in the comments had talked about East Iberville earlier and their strength of schedule. This is the 1A level basketball. So anytime these guys are competing against some of the biggest and the baddest, for those that don't know, 1A is just the same number of students as B. They just happen to have football. So this is some of the smallest schools in the state competing against some of the top and some of the bigger schools in the state. Top half of this bracket, man. You guys got any feedback on this? Again, once we get down to the bottom part of the bracket, get a little smaller classification, sometimes we do need to lean a little bit on the comments. But y'all got any feedback on the top half?
Well, I've watched Faraday play. I watched Faraday play Ruston. I watched Faraday play Peabody. I watched Faraday play 3 or 4 games this season. From a talent perspective, Faraday is one of the most talented teams in the state. They have everything that they need to win a state championship. I feel very comfortable saying that, their number 1 seeding is about as fair as it gets. I just don't know if there's a 1A team in the state that's going to be able to deal with the size. They've got a 6'6", 2027 kid, BB Terrell, Robert Traylor.
Again, that junior class.
Look, the junior class is crazy. So Faraday looks as good as any team that I've watched play basketball this year, regardless of class. And to think that there might be a 1A school out there that's going to be able to deal with 6'6", 6'5", 6'5", a pure pressure point guard. I'm going to ride with Faraday from the beginning to the end on this one.
Josh, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, nah, this is another one where I just agree with Donald. Whatever he has to say on this bracket, that's what I co-sign. You
didn't get a chance to get down to the end of the earth and check out South Plaquemines, man?
Oh man, I did not. I drove to South Plaquemines one time, and I hope I never got to do it again. It's a really nice school, though. It's a really nice school.
Man,
football field is like gorgeous.
I don't know if it hit y'all's radar, but a little off the topic. I posted that Plain Dealing had to drive to South Plaquemines, which was a 7-hour drive. They had to have the coach drove as well as a parent had their CDL. So they had to have 2 bus drivers They left at 8 a.m. and the coach said they got back into his driveway. So he left his driveway at 7 a.m. to go to the gym. He got back into his driveway at 3:45 a.m. First round playoff game on the girls' side. What y'all's thoughts on that? Is it like it sometimes happens? Is that something we should probably look into? I'm looking at South Plaquemines game at Grand Lake. That's a 5-hour drive, so they're going to be on the road for 10 hours. Similar, not as bad, but just off the record, off the topic. What y'all's thoughts on maybe a North and a South regionals, or like, what do y'all think?
I mean, I think they should bring it up here every now and then, whether it's in Monroe or do it in Ruston.
I'm talking
maybe
about first round. I'm talking about first round games. I'm talking about just first round games. Like you luck of the draw. You got to go play 15 hours away.
Yeah, a long way away.
Like, and that's first round game. Like, and let's be honest. Like, they're not even South Plaquemines not getting enough fans to even cover the travel of that game. I'm not talking about the state championship. Like, you can travel as far away as you want for that, in my opinion, because that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Yeah. But a first round playoff game, 15-hour round trip is crazy to me.
Right. Stay the night.
I think, I don't know. I think that's just tough luck of the draw type of thing, because if I'm the home team, like, I'm loving that. Like, you got to come all the way, out here. I mean, I earned that, as the home team. Like, I earned the advantage to, maybe you got to come here. Maybe you coming from a long way away. I guess maybe if they were going to make a change, I could see, like, maybe if, like, a team seated, like, maybe one seed below you, maybe you could flip it if everybody agrees, and maybe the travel can shorten that way. Because I would, probably be not that likely that two teams that close would be that far away in the state. So, I mean, that's the only thing I could kind of think of.
Yeah, like, Texas does regional, Mississippi does regional, Alabama does regional. Right. Everyone else kind of does regional. So I just thought it was an interesting conversation.
Like, it made sense for Texas, but like Mississippi, I guess they could have like us, where it's like 7 hours from the top to the bottom of the state.
Yeah, top and bottom. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Right.
And then with that, I guess since we're on a different topic, on Thursday they're going to vote on the one-time transfer rule at the LHSA. What's y'all's thoughts on the one-time transfer rule? A, will it pass? And B, would you be for it or against it?
I hope it passes, and I'm all for it. I think it's in this area. I've seen players, if you are a player that may not have the goods to make it to play on a higher level team or a higher division team, and you have the opportunity to move and play somewhere else where you can earn minutes and have the opportunity to play, I don't think that a player should be penalized for it. I think kids should be able to go and play where they want to. I don't believe they should be able to jump every year, but a one-time move, especially for a player that may not be able to earn minutes at a school, maybe he didn't grow or, whatever. But I think kids should be allowed that one-time move.
Yeah, I'm with Tatum. I think they should definitely have the one-time transfer, free of whatever penalties. I just, for college, I think they should be able to move as freely as they want, but that's a different beast, just because of NIL. But high school, I definitely think you should get the one-time transfer. I'm for parents, like, being able to choose what situation they want their kid in. Like, maybe they have there's a beef with a coach or whatever, whether it's justified or not. Like, that should be up to the parent and the kids.
Yeah, man, we out of here.
That's kind of how I feel about it. But I don't think it'll pass, because I don't think principals are gonna want to give players that type of freedom. Like, so I doubt it'll pass.
And just for full transparency, this was voted on last year. This was LHSA put this up, because what's happening is there's so much paperwork, and there's so many people focused on at the LHSA focus on going back and making sure this child was bullied, because you can skew the paperwork however you want now. Like, you can say I was bullied, you can say this happened, you can say I moved, you can put this mailbox here. I'm living with her, I'm living with them, parents are separated. Like there's so many
Right.
ways
Yeah.
around the
Hmm.
rule
Hmm.
that the LHSA is overwhelmed with the number of transfers and the paperwork. So this would eliminate 90% of all that paperwork, and then you would be able to really get into the details if someone were to transfer twice, and you'd really be able to dissect it. But the LHSA is for this. The principals voted it down last year. They are saying that it's possibly going to get voted down again. Then they're saying that legislation may even get involved into it. So this could get very, very sticky in the next. I know we're talking about the playoffs, but that vote is 48 hours from now. We'll know the verdict of that. So it could get very, very interesting. But yeah, man, something to keep an eye on. That'll be Thursday.
Yeah, I would add too. Like I see, isn't it really up to the school, right, to report the player or whatever? Because I see, players transfer sometimes. Sometimes they're immediately eligible. Sometimes they're not. Like,
Yeah. So how it works is you get put into the system.
like it falls on the school to report it, right?
Yeah, so how it works is you get put into the system with school A. If you transfer to school B, school A must release you. School B must accept you. If both those happen, it's green lit. There's no investigation at all. Now, if someone else from your district or someone else comes in and appeals it or asks for an investigation, that's when there's an investigation. But yeah, to your point, if it's green lit on both sides, if you leave on, I guess, quote unquote, good terms and you go in on good terms, it can be green lit and there's no investigation at all. Like the LHSA does not want to go around investigating thousands of transfers. They don't want to do that. Like no one should want to do that. That's too much freaking manpower and hours. So if the adults in the room
Yeah, that's
agree
a headache.
that this kid
That
is
makes a
good to
headache.
transfer, it goes through the system right away. There's nothing, and then it may come back and someone
I
else
honestly
comes
feel
back
like
and
that.
says. But
Okay.
we'll move it down to the bottom half of the bracket. We got Lakeview here at the 2 seed, East Iberville. We talked about it, man. I'm looking at their schedule, man. They definitely have played a very, very tough schedule for one of the smallest schools in the state. And Lake Arthur at the 6 seed, man. I like them as well. What y'all's thoughts, man? Y'all got any feedback on the bottom half of this bracket?
The only team that I've watched, and you know what? Let me say this real quick. I missed out on Arcadia from that last group. So Arcadia is at the 4th spot. Arcadia is actually a team that can make it down south. They start an 8th grade kid that is having a lights out season, and they probably have the best big man in Division I basketball, Christopher Jackson. So with a savvy young guard and a dominant big man, don't be surprised if Arcadia makes another trip down south. They won a state championship a few years ago, so this might be the year for Arcadia to get another trip to the top 28.
Something that I want to keep an eye on here in this part of the bracket. Lakeview and East Iberville played in the quarterfinals last year, where East Iberville went on the road, defeated Lakeview by 1 point. So they're on the same side of the bracket, possible rematch. Definitely the two toughest schedules from these two guys right here. Lakeview, as well, has played a tough schedule, man. They've got some big time wins. That they've lost to Tioga, which was a tough one there. Competed with Ash, played against some of the top teams. I think they will definitely be battle tested. So something to keep an eye on, a rematch of that quarterfinal game. That was
Another thing about that Lakeview group, I watched them play this past weekend in Coshada at Red River, and they were down by 14 to a really, really tough Pleasant Hill team. And Delson Telsey, along with those guys, they were disciplined. They came back and they actually won that game. So Lakeview is one of the toughest teams that I've got the opportunity to watch play. I watched them in Shreveport beat a tough 5A Southwood squad also. So Lakeview is definitely battle tested. They definitely have the pieces, and I wouldn't be surprised if they made it to the state championship this year.
I love it, man. We'll keep it moving, man. Division 4 select. Mr. Tatum's favorite division, Lincoln Prep Invitational is what we call it sometimes. Man, they're the 1 seed.
Prep or step. Prep or step.
Southern Lab drops off a little bit. They were the big dog on this bracket last time. They're the 6th seed. But man, what's your thoughts here? Can anybody compete with Lincoln Prep here on the top half of this bracket?
I'm gonna tell you the history with Lincoln Prep and Southern Lab is so long. I mean, in this area, it's a rivalry that I don't even know if they know exists. But I've watched Lincoln Prep play. I watched him play on this plan. He's having a great senior season. Jabari Livingston, the 2028 kid, I think he's averaging 19 or 20 points a game. Pretty much every game that I've watched, nobody has been able to stop that kid. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to slow down Lincoln Prep. This is the year that Antonio Hudson and Lincoln Preparatory School brings home the state championship. I just don't think that there's a team out there that's going to be able to deal with them. They've got a 6'4/6'5" Zion Hicks. They've got a new kid over there playing point guard, Josiah Spann. Just Lincoln Prep is just tough, top to bottom, A to Z. They play a certain style of ball. I don't know if anybody else in this division is used to being touched, used to being pushed around, used to being bullied the way that Lincoln Prep presses teams.
What man, Josh, what happened to Crescent City, man? Crescent City, we're used to seeing them at a top 4 team, and now they're 20-something.
Yeah, they had a pretty much Dwight McGee is still there, but Coach B. Russ, he's gone. He's an assistant on St. Aug staff, and I don't know. Like, it's something. If y'all remember last year, I was kind of mentioning something was going on. Like, I hadn't seen Coach Russ on the sideline, and they just kind of disintegrated. It feels like I actually haven't since, because they haven't been like playing anybody that they can really compete with. So, the White's still a special type of player, I would assume. I've seen like some of his highlights, and I've always loved watching him, but they just don't have anything around him right now. I don't think so.
Yeah, he just committed to LSUA also.
Did he? Okay,
so
yeah,
shout out to Dwight McGee. Shout out to Dwight McGee for being a special player that we've got to watch for the past 4 years.
Yeah, for sure.
And we also get to keep him in the state and see him play here in the state. But it's all about Lincoln Prep on this side of the bracket.
Yeah.
So we're cutting in and out.
Looking down here, I see. Oh, I don't know.
Go ahead.
It seems all right. But at the bottom, St. Martin's here is another team that's in my area. But again, honestly, they just haven't really been on my radar. I pulled up their schedule, and they just haven't really played anybody. So, for them to be the 2 seed, I think will probably speak to Tatum's point of Lincoln Prep, they should have a pretty good chance down here.
Man, it's just weird, man. This is a weird division. You got Crescent City and Hamilton Christian, 2 powerhouses in this division now, not even really being mentioned. So we talked about Southern Lab. Southern Lab dropped off a lot, man. They really lost a lot. They're 60, so this division's wide open as far as teams punching their ticket to the top 28. So lot to be, I guess, interested in, to see who's going to be the new names. Someone's got to fill that void. But Lincoln Prep definitely seems to be the team to beat here. You guys want to keep it moving, man? It looks like we kind of buffering a little bit. Guys, I apologize for that. We just got 2 more divisions. I don't want to mess with it, the connection, and us lose it. So you can always go back and watch it once it's done. It'll finish loading up. But we're going to get into the small classification, Class B. Man, Anacoco, just something about that style of basketball over there. The small school basketball, man. The Anacoco, the Hicks, those style of basketball, man. And thinking that, was that Class B4? Yeah, Class B4 is just some really fun basketball, man. You got one red light and a whole bunch of basketball gyms. But have y'all had a chance to see any of the smaller classifications?
So I'm familiar with Anacoco. Anacoco is I know they play a certain style of ball, but now they've got a big kid over there that I think is just going to carry them for the next 4 years. Landon Tinsley is his name, and so he holds down the middle, but he's got shooters over there with him. Ethan Pritchard, Cash Peak. they're deep for that division, but they can beat 4 and 5A teams because of the style of basketball that they play, but also the skill players that they have. Having a kid that's 6'4", 6'5", that can handle the ball, shoot the mid-range, hit the three-point shot, and play smart enough basketball to find his shooters, it's going to be tough for any team. It's going to be very tough for anybody to beat Anacoca.
Josh, you got anything else to add to the?
Yeah, another bracket. I'll just agree with Tatum. I know Anacoco and Zawali down there, they're in it every single year, so I probably expect to see them too.
Simsboro is another team to watch. Simsboro is another team to watch. I watched them play a couple weeks against Doylean. They have a kid, Ahmad Smith. I think Ahmad had like 42 or 45 that game. He knocked down 8 3-pointers. He's one of the best 2028 kids that we have in that class, in the 2028 class. So if Ahmad can get going and the other guys will follow him, they may make a deep run this year. But they lost one of their best players this year, so it's going to be tough for them. They don't really have a lot of size over there. So Anacoca, if I got to make a pick, I'm going to take Anacoca with the special freshmen, the seasoned shooters, and the smart basketball that they play over there.
Man, you get down to that bottom half of the bracket, you see a familiar team like you talk about with Zawali, man. The Zawali, what was it? The Zawali Tamales, the Tamale Festival over there, or whatever it is they got, man. It's like they got that.
The Zawali Tamales, man.
Man, they every year in, year out, man. You see that green at in Lake Charles, and here they are again, man, with the opportunity to make it another trip to Burton. Anybody on the bottom half of the bracket, I guess outside of Zawali. Again, I do like once it gets to this part of the bracket, man, the same district, Class B District 4, with the Anacoco's district. I think that's something that's you can kind of keep an eye on, seeing some districts make deep runs. Not only just Anacoco, but the whole district make deep runs. So that's something that I would keep an eye on. Anything else you guys want to add here to the bottom half of this one?
Yeah. So I saw Zawali at the beginning of the year. They were tough. They came up here and they beat a couple of really good teams. Another team that I've had the opportunity to watch, and if anybody can match Anacoca's size, I would say Equipment has got a really good point guard over there. They've got a kid over there named Braden Martin that's a special shooter. They've got a big, I've watched Equipment play 3 or 4 games, and if anybody's going to challenge Anacoca, that's a team that's built to challenge Anacoca, and I think if they end up seeing Zawali, that'll really be a fun matchup to watch.
I love it, man. Definitely something to keep an eye on, man. Hey, if you are looking for a place to watch a game, man, quarterfinal game at one of these Class B or C schools is exciting, man. Gibbsland Coleman, man. We've been seeing a lot of Gibbsland, man. What have you guys had an opportunity to see them, man? I see they're like a walking highlight reel, man. Always making plays, dunking on people, man. Jumping out of the gym, man. Gibbsland Coleman has definitely been a fun team to watch. What's y'all's thoughts on this top side of the bracket in Class C?
Before the season got started, I made a post that said Gibbsland Coleman is going to play for a state championship this year. They are tough. They just went to Shreveport and knocked off 5A Captain Shreve. They are as tough as it gets. DeMarquise Durham. I can't think of the other kid's name. But look, I'll say their names the way people call them around here. But Juicy, Dooley, those kids can absolutely play basketball. They don't play together sometimes. They play basketball together year-round. They play together. They play for each other. They're coached hard. They're coached fair. Like Gibbsland Coleman is the team. If I'm going to pick a team, I'm taking Gibb all the way. And if anybody from Gibb got a T-shirt or a sweatshirt for me, I'll wear it during the game because I believe in that group of kids.
Yeah, Juicy, I actually was actually on the AAU team I traveled with in the summer, and he had a couple crazy dunks, in the AAU games, and he is not big. He's only like, I mean, he might be like 5'10", 5'11", but like he really get up there, and he has some power with him too.
Yeah.
So that he's the only one that I'm familiar with on the team, and just looking at their schedule, I mean, only 3 losses this year, and a couple to Parkway and Lincoln Prep, and they play Lincoln Prep close. So yeah, they look like they're probably going to be the favorite down here.
Yeah, Gibb is not ducking any smoke.
Yeah.
They are just a tough group of kids, and the Juicy, I think he right after the game, I had a couple coaches reach out to me about him, but I also know that he's picked up an offer. So shout out to Juicy, shout out to the Gibbsland community, and you guys go ahead and start booking your rooms, because I think Gibbsland is going to the state championship this year.
Man, then we move down to the bottom part, man. You got Pleasant Hill, familiar name, at the 2 seed. Plainview made a good run last year, man. Won it. Obviously, they had a huge transfer that kind of helped carry that way. He's graduated, but Pleasant Hill, Plainview, what's your thoughts there, man? Do they have anything for Gibbsland Coleman?
So I watched Pleasant Hill this weekend play against Lakeview. Pleasant Hill was up 14 points, and Lakeview came back and won that game. If anything can frustrate Gibbsland Coleman, I would say it would be the length of Pleasant Hill. Over there is a top 10 player in the state. He's a special talent. There's pretty much nothing he can do nothing that he can't do on the court. So I'm looking forward to a matchup of Pleasant Hill and Gibbsland Coleman. Talent-wise, they can go player for player. I just want to see the game happen. But Pleasant Hill is just as special as Gibbsland Coleman is. They don't play like a Class C school, and they played Huntington just a few days ago and only lost that game by 5. So they play hard. They get up in you just like Lincoln Prep and Gibbsland Coleman does. So they're a battle-tested group of kids that could definitely challenge Gibbsland Coleman.
Josh, got anything else on BC?
No, I got nothing. I'm gonna tell you.
This is again some of the fun storylines for sure. So we're definitely interested, man. And as we continue to build, hopefully we get the connection to be a little stronger throughout the whole process. Looking like we kind of lost it these last 4 or 5 slides, but man, in the comments, man, the comments go a long ways. We really appreciate everybody for jumping on with us. These games will be played on Friday. Girls quarterfinal games are on Thursday. Get an opportunity to go out there and watch those. The girls state tournament starts next Tuesday. Boys first round playoff games are on Friday. So get out there, support these guys, man. Mr. Tatum, man.
They do have some Thursday too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying they do have some Thursday too, and I know Booker T is going up to, I forget who they're playing, but they play Wednesday. So yeah.
Oh wow, they're playing Wednesday.
Yeah.
Need to make sure that the boys cannot play on the same date if they have a girls quarterfinal game. So that's just something to keep an eye on. I don't know if that's an issue or not. I mean, a lot of these
Booker T's girls are still in.
Oh, so they're playing on Wednesday.
Yeah, I think Booker T's girls are still in too.
So that's probably why they're playing on Wednesday.
That might be why.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that, man. We got some games going down early. But yeah, man. So the girls are gonna have 40 teams left after Friday, so the boys will be right there behind them. This shit happens fast, man. We'll be in Lake Charles before we know it. But man, y'all want to leave us with any closing remarks, man? Appreciate y'all for joining us.
One thing for me, players, parents, coaches, fans, if you've got kids in your area that you feel like have the opportunity to play at the next level, I get out and watch as much basketball as I can, but I can't get everywhere. But my DMs are always open. So player highlights, huddle links, field level links, even highlights from your local video guy. I have the time and take the time to watch all of that film. So if you got anything on a kid, follow me at Donald.Tatum73. I am very responsive. So if you've got a kid that I need to watch, if you got a kid that you feel like is underrated, send me that kid's information. And also for the players out there, if you feel like you're underranked and feel like you're underrated, you may be too hard to find. So change your Instagram names to your first name and last name. And if you want to go wild and go crazy, start you a spam page somewhere. Let's get recruited in 26.
I second that.
All right, gentlemen, man, appreciate
That's
y'all,
it.
man. We'll go ahead, Josh. You had something?
No, not really. Just check me out on YouTube. Give it a subscribe, a like. That's about it.
Hey, the dude's got
Appreciate y'all watching.
How many videos we had? I think how many thousands of videos it was. I forget what it was last year.
I think you did say it was like 3,000 or something last time. I honestly don't even know on that.
Something crazy, man. But yeah, you getting bored in class? Or,
Hey, look,
or
y'all take it.
Go ahead.
Oh, 3.4.
Everybody down south, take care of Josh. That's how I watch the majority of y'all kids play basketball.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Love it, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Well, look, man, we'll look to jump back on after the first round. So we'll recap probably Sunday or something like that, Monday. But man, good luck to everybody. Be safe on that road travel. I know we got a lot of 4 and 5 hour road